God has a plan for your life. God has a purpose for your life. Don't waste your life. Find out what he wants to tell you. He will show you his will for your life. Most important thing you need to know at this point in your life. Look at the second request. He said, now, first of all, fill with the knowledge of his will and all spiritual wisdom and understanding, so that you and I may walk in a manner worthy of the Lord. Well, the first request was for a sense of direction, the will of God. Secondly, the quality of life. He says that you and I may walk worthy of the Lord. Now, what does he mean by that? Well, to walk worthy of the Lord is to walk in a fashion, listen, that is in keeping with who we are. You and I say that we're the followers of Jesus Christ. We are Christians. And to be a follower of Jesus Christ, then if I make my conduct and my behavior such, then I'm going to walk in a manner that is worthy of being called a Christian. Does that mean we'll never sin? No. Does it mean we're perfect? No. But it means, listen, that our sense of direction, that our heart's desire, that the character of our life, the quality of our life, the direction for our life is to follow the Lord Jesus Christ. He's talking about walking in such a fashion that our behavior and our conduct, listen, that someone would watch us, someone would see us and see such a similarity in our attitude and our conduct and behavior that they too would be drawn to the Lord Jesus Christ. What he was simply saying is this. He said, I want you to walk in such a fashion that those around you will begin to understand what God has done in your life and will understand what God is doing in your life. And so when people meet us, I wonder what they think. Do they see in you and in me a character? Do they see in us a quality of life?
They used to.
Do they see in us an attitude? Do they see in
They
our
used
conduct
to.
and our behavior and our actions those qualities
Until,
that would remind them of the Lord Jesus Christ?
until Greg
Remember
took
that he
Jan to
died and was resurrected,
his
and the Bible
mom's
says
against her
descended with the
will
Father.
and
And so now here we are,
went to
left out
court
here, but
and
indwelt
made
the
the
Holy
judge
Spirit.
say
And I believe
she
as
had
I
to
think
go,
about what
and
the Christian life is all about,
he promised
he
her
simply said
that
he's left this here because
he
we're an
would bring her
extension of
back,
his life.
and
When Jesus Christ is speaking
if
through
she
you,
didn't
when
want to be
Jesus
there,
Christ is
and then
living
she
through
didn't
you,
want to be
when
there,
Jesus Christ is working
and
through you,
then
what's happening? Our
they
Father is
called me to say,
extending
oh,
the
she
life of
said
Jesus
she's
on this
sick,
earth.
and
He says we're an extension
tell
of his
her to
life.
just
Listen,
stay,
we're an
and
exhibition of his character. The character qualities found in
then I
us
just
should be those
told
character
them,
qualities found in the Lord
you
Jesus Christ.
promised to bring
And
her back, so
likewise, not only
bring
exhibition
her
of his life,
back,
but we're a
and
demonstration of his power. Every single one
everybody
of
in
us
my
who's been saved by the grace of God is a
area there
demonstration, listen, of
was in
God's great
tears,
love and
and
power to reach down, forgive us
he
of our
said,
sins,
well,
draw
I'll
us
let you
out of
know
the
tomorrow.
enslavement of sin,
And then
and dwell
tomorrow
himself
came, and then he
within us
said,
and enable us to
yeah,
walk
she
a
feels
godly,
better.
holy
I'm
life. A
just going to wait
demonstration of his power.
till the
Listen,
next
an
day or
extension
the
of his
day
life,
after that, because I need to
exhibition
get
of
the
his
car
character, of
fixed
his
or
character
something like that.
qualities,
I made
and
up, and
a
then
demonstration of God's awesome
I
power.
don't
Listen to his
remember
third request.
the
He said,
exact
not
details
only
of it
do we
yet,
walk in a
because
manner worthy
there's
of
too
him to
much
please him in all
stuff,
respects, but bearing fruit in
too
every
much
good
going
work.
on at the
Father,
moment,
what are we
and
doing? We are asking now, not only for
what do you
direction,
call it,
but our
shock,
will, quality of life,
and
in
oh
walking
my
in a manner
gosh,
worthy, but now
he promised her
bearing
he
good
would
fruit,
bring her
bearing
back,
fruit
and
in
I
every good
told her
work. What are we
that
talking
too,
about?
and then
The wise investment
she
of their
was
life.
there and I was here,
What
and
are they doing with their life?
she had to
It
go
is
by
the will of
herself,
God
and
that
she
your
didn't
life
want
might
to,
be
and
fruitful. That
they
means we're not
he
to
said
live for
Grandma Sue
ourselves. We
didn't
don't
want
belong to ourselves. We
Eric
belong to
there
him.
because it
That
was
is,
too
listen,
messy, and
involved in, committed to, actively
Carolyn
carrying
was
out, actively
refused to
involved
go,
in
and I
doing
don't blame
something
her, and
that brings glory to
I
God and has
didn't really want
eternal value.
any of
Well,
them to
somebody
go
said,
at all.
well, I'll tell you now, wait a
It
minute.
was
I have to
disgusting to
work
me,
every
but
day,
the
5
judge said
days
I
a week.
had
I have
to,
to work.
and he took
Well,
me
let me
back
ask you
into
this. What do
court
you
for
do
that.
when you work 8 hours
And
every week
then
and
he
never sleep
tried to
8
make
hours?
me sound crazy,
I'm not
and
talking about quitting your job.
he
I'm
knew I
not
was
talking, I'm not
already
talking about the
getting
fact that you should
very,
necessarily
very
change your
emotionally
vocation.
sick
I'm not
over
saying you should
him
not meet the
constantly
needs of your
taking me
family because
into
God wants
court,
you to. But what about those
changing
other
what he
16 hour days?
wanted,
What of the
the way he
time, listen,
wanted it.
besides the
Then he
time you have
never
to
would
work to
do
make a
it
living,
that way.
what are you doing in those other
And then, oh
hours
my God, it was
that
awful.
has lasting value, that's making
Oh
any kind of
God.
impact, that you're having any good influence on someone else, that you're giving
I
yourself
mean,
away to God
I
in some
remember
fashion,
like
in some way,
calling the
for his glory, for
police
the good of someone else,
department
and
in
also for your
Sun
own good.
City and
I
asking
mean,
them,
many people, for
like,
example, who
what should I
take their
do?
prayers, they
What
get
is there anything
discouraged
I
and down in the
can
dumps.
do?
That's where they live. It's
Like,
written all
could
over.
you
If they get out of it, listen, you can get out of the dumps. When you
is there
give
any way you
yourself
could
away
just
to
like
God to serve
keep an
someone
eye
else, you
on
get
the
out of the
house?
dumps.
Do you know the
When you and
guy?
I
Do you know what's
understand
going on? And
what
I
God's purpose
mean,
and
can you
plan for our life
prepare
is,
for me to
listen,
have to
all the
call
engines
you?
start up, all the, listen,
Can you
all the
make sure
motors
his
go,
car's still
because all of
there
a
and you
sudden
didn't
there's this
take her
sense of
out of
purpose. You say,
Arizona?
well,
And
but I'm
it was
full of this age
horrible.
and I don't have any sense of purpose.
It
Then
was
I want to challenge
horrible.
you to
It
get
made
on your
me
knees
so
and
sick.
tell
I was
God,
already getting
whatever it
shingles.
costs, you want to find out what his will is,
Just
what
like
his plan is. You
that
don't want
very
to waste your life
morning
and you
or
don't
the
want to
day
spend
before
your life.
that.
You want it wise
And I already had so much on my plate, so much. It was enjoyably difficult when it was just me and the kids, but was not enjoyably difficult when anything came up that had to do with him. And to have Janet be just like that, and you keep hurting me. It's like the most cruel, horrible thing ever. I can't even explain it. How could she take away Maria's grandmother? I mean, she might not have had a grandmother like me, no, but I had a grandmother like me. So she should allow me to give that to my granddaughter, and she won't, because she's just so thinking about herself. And she doesn't even know what she's thinking about. She changes her mind every 2 years, and I know she won't want to hear it, because you cannot tell her anything. She gets offended. Just like Greg. Offended. Like, that all started when it came to wanting the approval of men or something, I don't know. But I guess she just heard enough of him putting me down that she figured, you know what, maybe it's true, and started believing it. So she started to learn how to look at my faults and pick on them, and only see that and exploit them and make them bigger than life. And then I've had to live like that. I've had to live with a family life that he started to encourage, that she carried on. That even when I started to repair my relationships with my own family, out of my own heart, oh no, he wasn't going to allow that one. And any little thing he could use to make me seem like the loser, he did. He didn't even care. No matter what he wanted the court to order, he didn't really want. He just used whatever he knew was really hard for me to deal with, and that would make me sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. When I had my prayer ministry, he destroyed it. He went on there and told people things. I mean, I didn't have a way, and I didn't think about getting a restraining order on him, because if I would have done that, by that time he was already lying about me, telling the court my kids are in mortal danger because I let them go to Disneyland. And I mean, just like making up things so bad. But he was so quick to do it, and I didn't have the time because my hands were so busy. And then I thought I was doing good. Like, I didn't know he was a narcissist. I didn't know that. I didn't really understand why he was so tough. Sometimes I thought, well, he's trying to be a good dad. So I let him go to church with us, or let him this or that. I started to really try, and the more I would try, the more he would put his foot in the door, the more ammunition he got, and the more people he knew to contact that I had good relationships with for my family. He wanted that destroyed. So anything good that's ever happened in my children's lives was out of a complete 100%, or 150% my strength of overcoming what was going on to me at the moment the best way I could. It was difficult. I had to put myself on the back burner always. I always had to. And even when I went to therapy or stuff like that, I only went so first of all, he wouldn't hurt us more, or so that my benefits would continue, or whatever we needed to do, so we could keep our housing or do whatever, because it was needed, yes, but to have him drive me there was crazy. But that's what I did. I did whatever I had to do for my kids, and I hope you all know that because I love you. But I really love my granddaughter so much, and she loves me. And to see the picture of her at Christmas without that joy in her eyes of Grandma being there was the saddest thing ever. And anybody who would do that to my granddaughter, take her away from me when they know that she loves me and I love her, no matter what they feel about me or what they think about me or what I think about them, they are cruel to do that to her. And they should be disgusted with themselves. Shame on that, Tiana and Eric A. Shame on you both. You know what happened. You know I didn't want him in here. You know I didn't know what was going on. I've told you I was not yelling at Eric. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes, we've had our problems in the past, but that morning we were getting along perfectly. So for that reason, and the reason of you guys coming bursting in here when your own daughter was in here, Brianna, no, that's not gonna work. That's an excuse. And then he come busting in here like a cop hiding his trail. He didn't belong in here. That was an illegal action. And then to try and turn that on me and not take responsibility for that part, and then to use my reactions to you cutting me off from my grandchild like you did and accusing me of things I didn't do, and then taking the things that I was writing, and like some things, like I would write, Jana, I was not talking to Maria about Eric A. And then in one of my texts, I read it back and it said I was, but not was supposed to be in there. That was a typo. If you reread it like that, then you'll see that. But to jump the gun on me when I was distraught, upset, in shock, and confused is awful. So I'm just saying these things because I need to. Makes me cry. And it doesn't matter if you're hearing me or not. It doesn't matter. This is just a video I'm making. That's all it is. I feel like I'm the one who has been harassed and making police reports on me and trying to get me in contempt of court for things that you have no idea how hard I tried to get those paperwork to you in a legal manner without asking my mom, who I didn't want to involve, for your exact address. Carolyn did not have the house number. And the postman even said, well, we can send it, but he said, I used to live there and you probably need a house number. And I said, well, let's send it anyways. Maybe the carrier will know her last name. And they didn't, and they sent it back. So then then Eric said, well, I think it was 23B, and then that rung a bell. And then when I put it in my map thing, it did show up, and then, yeah, so, but I didn't have it before that. You didn't give me an address. You were supposed to. So I could have had the whole case thrown out because of that. Instead, you wanted me in contempt. Are you kidding me? There's just so much bad about what happened, and so many things that you say you're disappointed in me. No. Wait a minute. Back up the truck. I was disappointed that you would allow your boyfriend to come in here and start accusing me, insinuating at me, yelling at me, pointing fingers at me, and telling me I was a liar in front of my granddaughter and saying it was my fault. This is all your fault. You know what? That's what he thought, but he did not have facts to that matter. He just got mad because I was not going to let him get on the phone, okay, and suddenly take me from watching my granddaughter, taking care of my family and my household, and get on the phone with him and listen up to him and do what he wanted. I've had enough.